Hello, y'all. This is Colonel Braxton Beauregard Burlique the Fifth, adventurer, treasure hunter, swashbuckler extraordinaire, at your service, madam. Well, tonight's show's gonna be a little bit different. I've decided that I'm gonna try my hand at what is now, what I just learned, and I had a viewer recommend, is what they call the ASMR genre, where we do sort of like a role-playing type situation, and unlike a lot of my regular videos, I will not be haranguing and yelling. At least I'm going to try not to. And tonight's scenario is that you're a son of one of my best friends, and you gambled away quite a bit of money here tonight at the old mansion, and I'm trying to get you back on course where you're going to, turn your life around and try to figure out, where y'all went wrong. So here we're going to begin. I'm going to start with this. Well, how are you doing here tonight there, boy? You had a rough time in the game, and well, you did drink up quite a bit of my liquor over here. And, I gave you some. Let me move my glass here. I gave you some of my Chambord. I gave you a Lord Culver Canadian. You had some of that. I had to get a new bottle of that. I think you kind of overdid that. And a little bit of the Irish Mist I had in stock tonight. And we had a play. We were playing cards. And well, the cards were not too kind to you here tonight, son. I got all your money that you had on you there, and then I had you go to an ATM, and you got the money out there, and then you had me accept an IOU for $15,000 that you signed, and then I have it. I'm holding it. We have the title to your car. It was not a good night for you, son, and here's the whole situation. I know that you came here and you thought, oh, I'm going to take advantage of this elderly man. I'm going to take all his money. And the thing is this, boy. I'm a very skilled gambler. And well, you're not. You're just, frankly speaking, you're just some amateur that came here trying to, that happens all the time. I have people come here and they think that they're going to pull the wool over the old colonel's eyes, and that they're going to deal from the bottom of the deck and everything else. And then when they do all those tricks, they don't work. Then they get me to a point where I have to pull this out to defend my rights, to keep you from trying to take what you lost rightfully. And we don't want any trouble here. It's like this. You've asked, what's that? You want me to teach you how to gamble? Well, what I would tell you this, son, is I think you better not. Think about this, boy. Throughout a lot of countries, including the United States, and I can tell you this even back in the day in Europe, instead of bringing industry, these here politicians, they want to set up all these casinos, and all they've done is drain off the money from the poor people that live in those locations. And the thing is this: I've spent my career as a gambler, and it's a very chaotic lifestyle, son. And you have to have a talent and a knack for it. And asking me to teach you how to gamble, and especially how to play cards, well, that's like asking Pavarotti to teach you to sing. My experience has been that you're going to have a natural, experience, a natural talent, rather. Like through the years, I've bet many dollars, and been through many casinos over the years, some of the grand gambling houses of Europe, and I was a riverboat gambler for a number of years, along with being a entertainment agent, and kind of stacking these chips. these do make, you know, I've said one thing, these do make a pretty sound when they make the sound. But you have to be in on, basically, you have to appreciate everything that is part of the gaming industry. I mean, it's more than just trying to learn some skills. You have to have an intuition. You have to have a knack. And you know, if I thought you had the talent, you know, I certainly would encourage you. But you know, if you're going to blindly go forward despite my warnings not to, I'm going to advise you not to, son, because you know, some of the tricks you pulled here tonight, I think at best they might throw you out of the place. I think another possibility would be like in the casino movie. You get caught, perhaps they'll take you to the back room, and they might, you know, they might break your fingers with a hammer, you know. And you know, I don't have a hammer here, but we're into, you know, sounds, and that could be like. And, you know, that could be not only the rapping of your skull, son. They could maybe, like on that other scene in there, they put your head in a vice and they pop your eyeball out. I mean, you don't want to get involved with these underworld people. And if you owe money to people and you don't pay them, you may get away with that on your Target charge card, and nobody's going to break your legs. But you get in the gambling field, son, it's a very dangerous arena. And I'm going to tell you, I think that, you know, you're not going to get involved in that. And I'm only giving you this advice, and the reason that I didn't take care of you myself, son, is because, you know, you're a friend of my, you're the son of my friend, and I don't want any problems with him, and I respect for him, and I've known you since you were a little boy. And what I'm going to say is, you've got to give this gambling up. And the thing, too, is, if you are going to do any gambling in the future, son, you're going to want to, you know, you have a limit. You can't, you always have to figure that you could end up losing. You can't lose any more than you can afford. Because if you bet everything and you lose everything, well then, son, you have nothing. And then if you're going around with IOUs, you know, that's going to be a problem, because there's people going to try to collect that. And, you know, you might have half written this to me, thinking that you were, and I'm trying to speak low because I know you're upset, son, and I want to try to put you at ease. But, you know, you could write an IOU, and unlike myself, they're going to expect that you're going to have to pay for this. And, you know, I think you half expect, or maybe you do think, that because I know your father, that I'm going to tear this up and give you this money back, son. And if you really knew the Colonel, you'd know that's not true. That I'm not really, you know, I'm not going to be willing to do that. I mean, this is a lot of money you lost here, son. Between the car outside which you lost, and that was a Porsche that your father gave you. Now that car, yeah, it's a couple years old. I think that's probably worth like $45,000. And this other money you lost, you probably ended up losing about $80,000 here tonight. And of course, you know, you think that your daddy's going to give you more money, and maybe he will give you some, but I know with you that it's not just the gambling. I know it's not just the whoring. I also know that you're doing the drugs, son, and a lot of the money's going up your nose. And I'm going to tell you this, that you could end up dead just on that. One day your body's going to just say, no, you had enough, and bam, it's over, boy. And I'm not trying to get you upset. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to, you know, I've got all these chips here, and these represent a good bit of money that was paid down in the casino account that I have for select high rollers I have here at the mansion. And, you know, these different chips they cost, you know, they're going to cost some money. And And you didn't do too. You did terrible here tonight, boy. And no, you're not going to have any more of this liquor over here. You've had enough. I'm not going to let you have any more of that, boy. I'm trying to straighten you out. Now, listen. I'm trying to be nice. Now, you know, I have great respect for your father, and I'm going to put this over here. I don't want you to do anything crazy, you know. But here's the thing, son. I'm trying to straighten you out. I'm willing to let you work off some of this debt for the IOU. I'm going to have you perform some manual labor on the property here. I have a contractor. He's building another guest house on the other side of the meadow out there, and I think what I'm going to do is, you know, you're going to learn a trade. You know, I know your daddy, he had sent you to school, and you were in the fraternities, and you were out there having fun, and that's good, son. It's good to have fun, but you have the fun after the hard work is done, and you just, I'm trying to, I know I get excited. That's because, you know, I've known you since you were a boy, and I've known your father, and I don't want you to end up, you know, in a bad situation. You're laying dead in a ditch with not a penny to your name. But so you're gonna work for my contractor, and you're gonna learn different trades. Bricklaying. You're gonna learn plastering, wiring. You're going to learn some of these things, and that's how you're going to pay. You're going to pay on this IOU, son. You're going to. But as for the other money in the car, no, I'm not going to give you the title to the car back. You lost it, and you're going to learn a hard lesson. You know, your daddy, I've talked to him, and I know that your mother, you know, God rest her soul, that I knew her, and I know that she spoiled you when you were younger, but, you know, I'm working with your daddy. We're trying to make a man out of you, son, and I want you to know that even everything I do, it's only, you know, it's only to a certain extent. Nothing dominates my life. You can have pleasures in life, but it's all in moderation, son, and you know, I'm not talking too loud for you, boy. I hope not. But the thing is this. You are going to have to settle down. You're going to have to decide on a career, okay? You're still a young man, but you're not a high school graduate. You're not 18 now. You're 27, boy. And you got to learn that you got to settle down in your life. You're going to have to you know, learn a trade or some sort of profession and decide on a career, and you're going to just, you know, you're going to have to put this gambling to a side, and if you do, you buy a couple of yourself raffle tickets or lottery tickets. That's after you pay me back, boy, and I don't know who else you owe, but you're going to have to settle down, and you know, even like these other substances. You know, occasionally I smoke my pipe and that, but you're going to have to give all this stuff up. And I think even on, you know, the liquors and things, you're going to have to completely stop, and get yourself sorted out. You just, you know, it's ruining your life, boy. And I think it's terrible. And I'm going to work with your daddy and see if maybe once we get, you know, you finish up with this contractor, perhaps it's work you like, or if not, we'll try something else. We want to try to get your life back on track. And do you have any questions? I mean, we've covered a lot of ground, son, and you seem apprehensive, but I'm going to tell you this. If you don't toe the line, well, you know, there's other things that have been brought to my attention, such as, well, I didn't want to get into it, but, you know, this action you did here tonight in trying to cheat the old colonel, you know, that's fraud. And if you don't, you know, honor the IOU, it could be say that was theft by deception. I just think that, you know, there's other things that if you don't cooperate with what we're trying to do, we're trying to put your mind at ease, but at the same time, we want to make sure you're working for your own good, son. And, well, what can I say? I mean, do you have any questions? I mean, you don't have any questions? Well, all right, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. I hope to try to straighten you out, and maybe perhaps, you know, we can visit again when you've made some progress. But until that point, son, I can't permit you back into the manor house here, because you're going to have to earn the privilege to come back here. And we can have other chats, but you know, if you want to stop by occasionally, and I happen to be out on the veranda, you could join me here for lemonade or mint julep, and we can talk. And perhaps we'll do another video. We'll talk about, you know, philosophies of life and how you're progressing and what you're doing. And well, son, I just hope I helped you on this. As you know, I'm not a fella who's soft-spoken, and I'm doing the best I can, because in deference and for the consideration of your father, our long-term friendship, and the fact that I just don't want to see you end up, you know, in a bad place in your life. And so I'm going to have you go, and I'm going to have my friend over here, Fairchild. He's going to drive you back to your daddy's home, or perhaps if you don't like that, I certainly would provide you with some cab fare. But you're going to be reporting for work tomorrow morning. It's going to be 6 o'clock, and he's going to pick you up. That's going to be my friend from the French Quarter, New Orleans. He's doing a construction project here for me. That's going to be Monsieur Guy Gadois. He's an old friend of mine too, and he's going to pick you up at your daddy's house tomorrow morning. So you better be dressed in your work clothes, and he's going to teach you a few things. Now, they're going to be building a wall tomorrow, and it's very simple, you know. Even I could show you this. I know in my younger days I did some bricklaying and things, and we're going to be laying a row of these bricks. It's going to be in a little straighter line than what I have, and you're going to have staggered levels for the design of the wall, and you're going to be laying all these different bricks on the wall, and you're going to be, you know, mortaring them, and you're going to be getting everything all set up, and hopefully that's going to be something that you're going to like. So it's 2:30 in the morning, son, and you're going to have to be ready here in just a few hours. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to have the cook give you some hog jowls and biscuits, and then we're going to put you in my car, and we're going to send you back home, and you be ready. You be ready at 6 o'clock. So I'm going to let you go now, son, and we're going to have some other talks on this, but you take care. You take care, son, and God bless.